green light's on for the choir. New Mexico Peace Choir is about to come on next. They started as early as last December, and they're from all over New Mexico. Some people are from Santa Fe, some people from Albuquerque, some people from the Gay Pride Choir, some people from the Science of Mind choirs, and some people from different church choirs. And they've just gotten together to form a New Mexico Peace Choir this year. They started out with 30 or 40 members. They now have 75 members. Yeah. And I'd like to have Christy Condriff, who is the organizer and choir director, explain a little bit while they come in, because it's an exciting story for New Mexico. Thanks, Christy Condriff.
Well, thank you. It is rather an exciting story. I've been directing choirs, church choirs, different kinds of choirs for years and years and years. And it has always been my dream, look at this, isn't this great, to have a choir that was about peace, justice, environmental issues, relationships, not necessarily religious but spiritual, just a really heart group. And I put out the call, and we had 53 people show up. And then that was, I know, it's just amazing. For our very first concert this past June, we had nearly 300 people for our first concert. It was a sellout at the Unitarian Church. And then we sang in Albuquerque, Santa Fe, and we had about 125 people there. We're already moving into bigger venues. We are going to be singing in Europe this next summer with the International Peace Choir, which it will include the Vienna Boys Choir. It's an amazing, crazy story how we actually are going to be able to do that. Normally, we would need to be in a conference with them for 4 or 5 days, and they are making an exception for us where we can come in the day of the concert, having learned our music already, sing with hundreds of people from around the world about peace and relationship and our planet, and we could not be more excited. So we'll have a large contingency from the choir going. We're singing for the William Barber event. When that comes to town, we're already booked for that. We're booked for the legislative session. In January, we're singing in Loretto Chapel for Earth Day. We're just doing amazing things. So I think you will be delighted when you hear this group. And we're about 20 shy tonight, so pretty exciting stuff. It is my pleasure, my honor to introduce the New Mexico Peace Choir. We have 2 songs for you. One is called Can You Hear? Jim Papoulis is the composer. He wrote this from kind of the children's point of view of they want a better world. They want to have a world. By the time they grow up, they want to have something that is positive, that is green, that is a wonderful place for them. So this is the children actually singing, Can You Hear? A little ticked off about, you're not listening, you're not paying attention. And then we'll end with our signature song, which is We Can Be Kind, which is just my favorite song probably in the whole world. So enjoy, New Mexico Peace Choir. Look at you!
I am calling.
that's less than a year old, huh? I am so proud of them. So proud. We can be kind. It is our signature piece. It speaks to the things that we can't worry about. We can't fix everything. There are some things that we just can't do anything about. And when that happens, we have a choice still. And always in that moment, we can choose peace, and we can choose to be kind to one another.
So many things we can't control, so many hurts that happen every day, so
wanted to turn this to green again here. Somehow. Oh, yes. Okay. Thank you, Christy. Now, we're waiting for Hakeem Bellamy, who hasn't called. I don't know when he's going to get here, sort of like maybe last year. So I was going to say, do you have another song that you'd like to do in the meantime? Oh! I mean, if you don't, okay. Well, tell them the story of what's going to happen with this Vienna thing or whatever. Tell them about what you're doing.
Okay. What we're doing.
What we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to open up this mic for people who would like to come up to speak for a moment, a minute or two, about their vision for peace in the world we live in. Would anyone like to start us off by coming up here and sharing with this group and this crowd what they have visioned for peace? We'll wait till they exit. Yeah, thank you.
We're going to wait till they exit because it is a little noisy. And we've asked Johnny Alston, who is our traditional flute player here at the Peace Center and also in other circles here in New Mexico, jazz flute player, really, really good. He's coming up and he will also play us some flute music to inspire us with peace and goodwill and jazz. Hi. Okay.
Okay, folks, I think we've got our first person who wants to share a vision of peace. May I have your first name? My name is Cleo. Cleo. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cleo, and she's going to share her vision of peace with you, and after she is done, we'll open it up if anyone else has some more words to add.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Cleo. First of all, I wanted to share that Satyagraha, to me, is soul force. Yes, it is truth, but also soul force, and also soul force, the force of the soul in the world. The outpicturing of the qualities of soul in the world, which are justice and nurturing and equality and equanimity, which lead to peace. And we're seeing the rise of the sacred feminine on the earth now. And this rising is a balancing. It's a balancing of the hemispheres of the brain, the left and the right hemispheres of the brain, and a balancing of the hemispheres of the earth, Eastern and Western, especially with the rise of the Eastern Hemisphere, which is the feminine hemisphere. The religions that and the spiritual traditions that come out of the East are more contemplative and more feminine in nature. And so as we see the lessening of the influence of the patriarchy, and we see the lessening of the influence of civilization, and the deconstruction of many of the power structures, we can begin to see the humanity rising in those interstitial spaces and the balancing of the masculine and the feminine, the healthy masculine and the healthy feminine. And it is my feeling and my work which has led me to this conclusion that the indigenous peoples of the earth, all over the earth, they are similar in philosophy, they are similar in wisdom traditions, and they are leading the way for the next age, if you will, which the children are calling in. And this indigenous way is one of complete respect for, harmony, and honor for the earth as our grandmother. And this is what we're seeing at Standing Rock. And this is a fulfillment of a prophecy called the eagle and the condor, namely the eagle of the north, which is mind, mental power, and the quetzal of Central America, and the condor of South America, which symbolizes the heart. So, as this great prophecy materializes in front of our eyes, really, with the coming together of over 200 indigenous groups in North Dakota, and the fulfillment of this prophecy of the union of the head and the heart, we see again the union of the masculine and the feminine. And that is my vision based on my work. And I see it in front of my eyes happening as I speak every day, more and more. And I just want to thank the Center for Peace and Justice for having this event and for exposing us all to wonderful principles of peace in the world. Because peace is not just the absence of war. Peace is action. And so, thank you for this opportunity to share my vision. Is anyone else wanting to share theirs? Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was really beautiful.
Thank you.
Really nice. What was your name?
Cleo.
Yeah. Okay. Renee has a poem from Thich Nhat Hanh that might be very nice. And thank you, Johnny, for playing that beautiful. Yes, 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 yes. It's fabulous. Couldn't be better. Can you read this in Ho?
I think so. Okay. So this is unscripted. A poem by Thich Nhat Hanh called "Please Call Me by My True Names." And I read this in my class yesterday, actually. Do not say that I'll depart tomorrow, because even today I still arrive. Look deeply. I arrive in every second, to be a bud on a spring branch, to be a tiny bird with wings still fragile, learning to sing in my new nest, to be a caterpillar in the heart of flower, to be a jewel hiding in a stone. I still arrive in order to laugh and cry, in order to fear and to hope. The rhythm of my heart is the birth and death of all that are alive. I am the mayfly, metamorphosing on the surface of the river, and I am the bird which, when spring comes, arrives in time to eat the mayfly. I am the frog, swimming happily in the clear water of a pond, and I am also the grass snake who, approaching in silence, feeds itself on the frog. I am the child in Uganda, all skin and bones, my legs as thin as bamboo sticks, and I am the arms merchant, selling deadly weapons to Uganda. I am the 12-year-old girl, refugee on a small boat, who throws herself into the ocean after being raped by a sea pirate. And I am the pirate, my heart not yet capable of seeing and loving. I am a member of the Politburo, with plenty of power in my hands, and I am the man who has to pay his debt of blood to my people dying slowly in a forced labor camp. My joy is like spring, so warm, it makes flowers bloom in all walks of life. My pain is like a river of tears, so full it fills up the 4 oceans. Please call me by my true names, so I can hear all my cries and all my laughs at once, so I can see that my joy and pain are one. Please call me by my true names, so I can wake up, and so the door of my heart can be left open, the door of compassion.
Thank you so much. Does he have other poems in there? That's the one poem she noticed in there. Well, this has been a very wonderful day and a very rich afternoon with the wonderful presentation by Greg Polk, and then such a good breakout into discussion. We really thank you. I want to ask Sue to tell us how we're going to get back to people about this, the breakout and the discussions. Is there a further step in that, or? Yeah, we are. But before we do that, I didn't hear that. Did you get on the? Oh gosh. Okay. So we're going to have Johnny gets to play his own song here too, being the wonderful flute player that he is. And I thought there might be some more feedback from the Peace Center. Is that not right? Before we do that, about the breakouts and what's happening with that information. Oh, okay. 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 Well.
Excuse my physical limitations, folks. My legs are just very new at actually holding me up.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, but
Yeah.
I was over to the side here. No, once I'm up, I tell you, it's the up and down that's the worst.
Well, Johnny is going to play, or are you going to?
Okay, well, whichever. I'll just do it any way anybody wants. What I will say, I think I've already thanked everyone who participated in our discussion sessions, which I considered to be an independent and fully dynamic part of this evening. This was our creative time, and I want to thank everyone who participated in that creativity, artistically, intellectually, emotionally, performance-wise. And what we will do, what I will do, I guess, when I say we, I have to look around. Is anybody standing with the we? So we'll try to put together from what was written in the report back and from the art we were given and from the presentation we were given, a sort of an overview of what occurred this evening. And so I will thank you now, but I would ask you to stay because we have, I think what you heard with the Peace Chorus, it helped to bring our hearts to where our heads had gone, and that brought our soul there too. And so now I would ask our flute player to bring our souls back again, and then I will let Halima wrap up the evening.
No, we've done it. This is wrapped. No, it's okay. We're just going to let Johnny play us some very, very deeply soulful music. Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was called Fairy Realm. If I can find this other one, I'm in trouble because I have about, I don't know how many songs, 200. Trying to find one nice and peaceful. You never find one of those ones. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. One more little short one. I hear this without any music. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And I would like to thank Sue Skerman and the whole crew of the Albuquerque Peace and Justice Center who have made this possible for us. What would we do without the Albuquerque Peace and Justice Center? Where would we gather? And Johnny, having worked very hard this evening with very lame legs, I want to thank you for how you have ended this evening. I feel healed in more ways than you could imagine.
Thank you.
I heard that she would like him to play one more and then she would like to dance. Cleo, would that be okay?
Would that be all right?
Would that be okay?
Would be fine.
One more?
I ain't going nowhere.
Well, I know that we have some folks that are
Well, people
We said till 8 and it's
till
not 8.
well then okay.
Yeah, it's going till 8. Yeah.
Okay.
That was so
I'll play all night if you want.
Yeah, you just said one more, so I thought you were done.
Close my eyes and it just went.
Johnny isn't done, let him keep playing.
It's especially nice when
Yeah, we wanted him to play more. We thought he did want to play more.
Sally?
This song is called, it's by Jeff Perry. It's called Time for Peace. Or Time of Peace. Something with drums, huh? Okay. Let's see.